Welcome everybody to another episode of One on One with the Tinted One. I am your host, the glass tinted film slick and Tinter beating, hell raising, trail blazing, the Texas Squeegee. And today's Tinteractive Tintertaining episode will feature the XDC World Champion Window Tinting Professional Cedro Rodriguez. He will be joining us from Washington. Plus, this week's WTF news segment, what the film is up in the industry of the window tinting filming industry. Plus, interesting developments and dates on the upcoming industry events that you cannot miss. So, without being said, let's cue the music out and let's officially kick off the show. All right, now that we have the official intro out of the way, I have yet to see anybody leave a comment. Let me make sure that this is all working tremendously well. There we go. Jackson Mayhew in the house here. Okay, I just wanted to confirm that people are actually joining in this live and are able to comment, and more importantly, that I can actually see them and feature them. So let's try this one out. There we go. Jackson Mayhew, Action Jackson here, joining us from the True Tint crew on behalf of True Spray. We have Bruce, the Savage Slavish here representing as well True Spray and supporting one of the very own. I mean, that's the thing about the True Spray team is they always move as a very strong and cohesive unit. It's no surprise that they're one of the first commenters here for the episode of Cedro Rodriguez, Cash Caduce, the live streamer of the WFR, the organizer, the handler, the producer of WFR events here, joining us in the live as well. Thank you, Cash, for joining us here. There's a couple of interesting things, man, happening in our industry. But as I said, I wanted to actually try something different out today. So now that let's not drag this one out too much. Let me go ahead and kick on some music and let's try something a little bit different here. I wanted to experiment with a little bit of a different segment. Those who have been a part of the Tinter Battles journeys from the early days, you guys will remember from 2022 the reporting squeegee. Yeah, just that. There we go. Well, anyways, the reported squeegee is not back, but I'm back a little bit, but in a different way. Today's on WTF, What the Film news segment. We have a couple of interesting news. Now, Sean Vogler, who is a very beloved and esteemed professional in our industry, recently posted on Facebook their celebration with Solar Effects celebrating 52 years in business. Sean Vogler posted on his Facebook page that the Solar Effects team is celebrating its 52nd year in business, making it a third-generation company. Solar Effects is a distributor of window films and tools. They're proud suppliers of industry greats like the talented, the great singer Sean G. Tintman, the industry legend, influencer, heat shrink battle runner-up of 2022, Montana the Tint Craftsman, aka Sheriff Tintright, as well as the current heat shrink battle champion of 2024, Avery Wells. They are proud to be supported by Solar Effects, and Solar Effects celebrates their 52nd year in business. So congratulations to Solar Effects. On other news, Solar Art, which is a window tinting flat glass company, a giant company. They are what I call the gobble of the industry. They are going out buying companies left and right, but they recently rebranded themselves, now operating under the name of American Window Film, according to the Window Film magazine. Now, in their article, it says, American Window Film, formerly known as Solar Art, has announced its acquisition of the Tint Guy, a well-established window film company serving the metropolitan Atlanta area. This marks their 19th acquisition for American Window Film and the first under its rebranded name. So there's some serious players are out there throwing money. So you want to sell your company, you better start adopting systems like TintWiz to make it a sellable product. Squeegee that. On other news, Window Film Magazine also posted an article, and this was one that I kind of found, this is one that I definitely found quite interesting, because anytime you start talking about compensation structures or how much money you make as a window tinter, it is the one topic that nobody can ever seem to quite agree on. And I think I somehow maybe cracked the case, but I would like you guys' perspective on this one. So let's go through the article first. According to the Window Film Magazine, in the United States, entry-level window tinters earn between $25,000 to $35,000, while reports of experienced professionals claim that they make between $45,000 to $70,000. Now, they do say, though, in high-demand states like California, Florida, and Texas, specialists can earn anywhere over $80,000, especially like in the luxury of items, mobile services. They didn't really include flat glass, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. If you're a flat glass tinter and you work for a company that compensates you well and keeps you busy, you're probably more likely to earn north of $80,000. It may be even a six-figure range, especially if you're on a commission structure or if you operate like a management position. However, the question here is, when it comes to compensation, what do you guys think? Does that seem like it's accurate? Does that seem true based on your own experiences? A new level tinter earning between $25,000 to $35,000, more experienced $45,000 to $70,000, and then the professionals, maybe management levels, over $80,000. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section right there. This is a common topic that I actually speak with the film trainer Marco Cazorla. And you know, this guy, it's funny. He took this into the window tint group 313tint.com, and I have something to present. So he made a post about this over there, and it started getting flooded with comments. So let's go ahead and present that up onto the screen right here. Okay. So according to Marco, like one of the top, I said, so one of the more relevant comments according to Facebook really is Mauricio Chapa, which, by the way, I'm a fan of his content. He got a lot of bad rap because this content is kind of trolly, a little bit misleading, but hey, man, it gets people's attentions. He says, do installers get paid less if it's a cheaper job? I got a lot of reacts on it, but I don't think so. That's a great question. I think obviously if you're doing less work, it's no brainer. Duh, you're making less money. But I think what he's actually referring to is if a lesser film gets sold, do the installer take the hit from that on the installation part of it? Ron Foster says, no, the process is the same. Treat your installers well from the get-go, and they'll return the same to the business. Teach them to upsell films and to bonus them at the end of the year. Okay, so now this comment right here, this is assuming that the tinters in the said company or organization are also salespeople, which changes the question a little bit. And then we'll get into that in shortly here. Sean G. Tintman says, yes, shops make more, so share the wealth. Again, it goes back to how do you have your company structured? Are your installers also salespeople? Because then they're filling multiple roles, and then therefore they should get compensated for the extra ticket item. You got Jeff Welch, previous Tinter Battles legend, partnered with Haas Evans back in 2022. He says, no, did the installer invest into the material? Then he shouldn't make more off of it than any other film he installs. His or her mistakes are also at much higher cost, indicating even more potential of loss to the owner. Flag hours is the way to solve installers' pay. That retains the bottom line for the actual investors. Quite a lot of interesting comments there. So this is a very controversial topic. And then we have here a comment from the great Eric Gavash. How does anyone make $25,000 a year? That's bare minimum wage if full-time. I don't disagree with that. Let's actually do the math on that. What's $25,000 weekly per? Let's go with 25,000 divided by 52 weeks. That's $480. That's gross, though. That's before Uncle Sam come and takes his half of it out. So $480 is not really a minimum livable wage, especially if you're in the great land of Devash out in California. That's yikes. Doesn't really cut it there. but you know, maybe that's why window tinting is suited for more of the, I don't know. And maybe the newer beginner levels are more for like the younger guys. Who knows? But it's really what you put into it ultimately. I mean, it's a skill set you learn, and then you obviously monetize it and scale it upwards. But that's a great comment for Mr. Devash right there himself. Carlos says 25K is definitely a side gig. Yeah. Oh, pre-tax too. Eric says pre-tax as well. Yeah, this is it. Like I said, it's a very interesting topic. And one of the things that I've definitely have caught on to is the fact that ultimately there are shops that will have their tinters doing sales, and there's others who will keep the two jobs separately. And the ones that obviously are doing sales, technically they should be allowed some type of commission structures if they're the ones that are selling it. However, it does create an inefficiency if you are the type of company that in essence has your installers selling as well, because ultimately the company makes money installing film to glass, not necessarily just sorting through leads and scheduling and coordinating projects and following up with customers. So there's definitely varying answers depending on how a company is structured, but ultimately I think like the much bigger, more scaled up companies, the companies that actually sell, are the ones that divide the job roles per se. You know, you can't do everything and be the best at everything all at once. You have to start separating and let people that are specialized and being specialists right there. Eric says, anyone making 25K tinting a year, show yourself. Oh, I've got some names I want to set up here, but I don't want to stir the pot. I would like to nominate some names. The kinds of people that spend too much time on Facebook talking trash are probably the ones that might feel that comment right there. Oh no, we got one right here. Charlie Kramer says, Brandon Mills, where you at? Come on, man. Anyways, cool. So that completes it. So anyways, what the film news, that is the latest and greatest for this week's episode podcast. Now it's time to bring on the much anticipated guest. So let me cut the music out just a second right here. This is self-produced here at the Texas Squeegee podcast. All right. Now, without further ado, introducing to the one-on-one with the Tinted One podcast broadcast. He is the owner of ADS Window Tinting, an active member, a true active member of the True Tint Crew. He is a Tinter Battles finalist and the current XDC 2024 champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Cedro the Champ Rodriguez.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you. Good to see you, Carlos.
What's up, man? Good. Sound is good. Video's good. You're looking phenomenal as always. Can you hear me?
Got my XPEL headphones in, and I think they're working out pretty good.
Man, that's cool. I still have them too, and they still haven't been used.
I just broke mine out. I broke my other ones, my regulars, and I broke these out. I said, hey, these are pretty good. Thank you, XPEL. Except for the little XPEL wore off already. Dang it. So what are you going to do?
Oh, man. They should have PPF'd that.
Yeah, no doubt. I should have done it too.
Cool, man. So how have you been? How's life in Washington?
Life is absolutely fantastic, and it just keeps getting better. I'll tell you what. 24 was absolutely amazing. You know, you gotta kind of put yourself out there. It's a buildup, and we just had a wild time. And I think we saw you at every single event we went to, and that's a good thing, because every time you come, you're bringing that energy, and I love it, and that's what we need. So
we need
good stuff.
Definitely some much needed tintertainment, man. It's always a blast. And always, dude, you're one of my favorite competitors to watch on a competition floor. There's a switch with Cedro, because every time he's just mingling around like a regular human being, is the kindest person, looks mean, but super kind, right? And there's just that switch. Whenever you get into competition, you turn into in the best sense of the word, you turn into a monster, it seems like. Exactly. You see the face right there. That's exactly it, man. The way you go to the cameras, you do all everything that makes for an entertaining round or competition or competitor or person. Like, you embody that, my friend.
Well, hey, I appreciate that. You know, I think there's something to be said about getting into the game mode, let's bring it. You got to switch that energy up a little bit. You've got to embrace it. I remember when I first started competing, it was crazy, and you definitely need to have your eyes open. But yeah, I appreciate that. It's a good time. I love it.
Yeah, man. So like for this is your first, you mentioned earlier, this is your first actual live stream.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect.
I've watched quite a few of them, but never been a part of it. So, Carlos, thank you for having me on. Thank you for reaching out to me and having me on for the first time. I wanted to make sure it was about as good as possible. I've
Yeah.
seen guys doing different things from their cars or from their dimly lit offices or anything. And, I'm going to have to say thanks to my wife and my ladies for setting me up a little bit here. I wanted to do
Oh,
it. We
wow.
have this kind of a setup out in our showroom, but I couldn't do it out there. I couldn't do the podcast out there. It's too busy. So they set this up for me, and I got to say thanks. They got the belt, they've got the trophy over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, man. I see that you got a lot of stuff like this. You save all of the lanyards, the badges, it seems.
They're kind of neat. I mean, a lot of them are really interesting. How they've got different things going on, and they're like little trophies in themselves. Every event, is a bit of an investment, in my opinion. And yeah, we've saved them, and they're just neat. I think they show the clients here at the shop, our level of commitment into what we do, because there's not one event that we've been to that we don't learn something and bring it back to the shop just to make us better for the clients.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the, what we do mention, and like, there's a couple of things that I have here at our showroom. And when people end up learning, like, oh, you guys compete. Well, before they even learn it, it's like, there's window tinting competitions. And like, yeah, you guys go compete. Like, yeah. I noticed that it does carry some weight, because it shows that there's a level of commitment to the quality of the product that goes just beyond you earning that paycheck. And the fact that you are willing to go out, or not paycheck, but just earning their money, the fact that like the person is willing to go out to go compete against other professionals, it goes to show like that it's more important to you than just a dollar over the counter. And that's something that I've noticed that customers really appreciate.
That's true. I do pretty much all the flat glass now here at our shop. I used to do a lot of automotive as well, and I'll jump in anytime. But when I go out and kind of do my spiel, I always talk about the win, and I talk about just the events that we go to, and I kind of end up with the win. And when I do that, like pretty much all last year, I don't know that there was one job that we did not get after we shared that with them, because
Oh,
people
wow.
want, and I was told that from other colleagues when, other winners, hey, are you ready for this? After I won the belt, I had a lot of guys coming up to me that had won it in the past. They said, are you ready for this? I said, what are you talking about? They said, your business is about to change, and buckle up, get ready. And they were right. So we tried to
Mm.
do a little marketing. I don't think we did as much as we could have or should have, but as soon as it started for us, it kept rolling along. We had a fantastic year in flat glass, as well as all the other departments too. But it was a neat thing to be able to share that with my clients with such enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And they would, I'd show them the little video that Bruce made for us, and it was awesome. It was great.
Oh man, I wish I knew that it existed. I would have brought it up here to the so we could
Oh,
stream it for everyone. Yeah.
well, it's on Instagram, and it's both on his and our ADS page. So yeah, everybody check it out later on.
And how did they find you on Instagram?
Who's that?
Like, what's your handle on what's your account
Oh,
on Instagram?
ADS Window Tint.
Oh, at
ADS Window
ADS
Tint.
Window Tint. Got it.
Yep, at
Okay,
ADS Window
perfect.
Tint. Thank you.
Yeah, so make sure you give a like and follow to at ADS Window Tint on Instagram. But yeah, man. So how long have you been tinting? We spoke a little bit early before the show. You mentioned your a little bit of your experience with window tinting. What's your experience level in tinting in general?
Well, we started our shop here in Kennewick, Washington in 1999. We started the 4th of July weekend. We started canvassing the entire town with little informational sleeves about, hey, we're in business, come check us out. And then we blew up from there. It was awesome. But yeah, I've got quite a few years, and we first started off just doing cars. We weren't going to do homes. or businesses. It just seemed like too much for me at the time. Young guy starting out.
How old were you?
Oh gosh. Well, I just turned 48, so I was
There's no
either
way
19 or 20.
Yeah, there's no way you're 48, man. You look younger.
Well, if you hide the grades, I think I could probably get away with it, but that's okay. These are well earned.
You're just what does it call them? Wisdom strands?
Yeah, wisdom for sure. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, man.
having 6 daughters. Yeah, it'll, and a business. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were talking earlier about like how involved are you with your business now? Are you still installing every day? Are you more management? You spend more time in the office? What's the great champ, the Cedro Rodriguez, doing nowadays?
Well, yeah, I'm an active participant here. I am an owner operator, and every day is a grind. There's not one day that goes by that I'm not at the very minimal checking in. But like I said before, that I am doing most all of the flat glass. I will, on larger jobs, I'll have my team join me. I usually go out with an assistant or two, but we're cranking out the cars. We do, we are an XPEL dealer, of course. And so we are an XPEL Platinum dealer. I'm not sure if a lot of people know what that means, but Platinum in our area means that you can have, basically you're the best. And so we have like the XR Plus, and we're doing ceramic coatings and everything. So, it's day in and day out. I drop my daughter off for school. One of my daughters off for school, who's in middle school, and then I come rolling into work, and we have a little powwow and go over Tint Whiz to see what we got available and what we're doing today. See how the schedule might have changed from the day before, what got added, what got taken away, and we just hit the ground running.
You do that every morning? Have it like a morning huddle session in your company?
There's a few mornings where we won't, but we typically try to start off all on the same page. And we live in a crazy area. We have a lot of people come in super early, like even like half hour early. So we open at 8 o'clock, but sometimes there's people just waiting as soon as we get here, like 7:30 or something. So that'll kind of throw the day, but you got to be ready for anything,
Yeah, Sean G Tint, man, he's posting. He posts every once in a while that he's got people showing up to his shop at like 5:30. It's yeah, man, it's insane. There's some definitely early risers out there.
Hey, I love Sean G. Sean G is the man. I love those guys. The solar effects guys, man, those guys know how to have a good time and chill out at the same time. Anytime we have a karaoke event, when we're out, I make sure Sean G knows about it, because that guy, he's got some pipes.
He's always He's always coming in with Tennessee whiskey, man. That's his opener.
Hey, but he's got some good backups too, because I remember we went there. We were in Orlando. I think it was Orlando, and another guy was already pulling that one out, and he had a backup, and I actually liked that one better. He did a really good job. Anyhow.
Yeah, he's cool, man. Avery Wells is one of those other individuals that I every time I see him, he's just, I always see him in window tinting events, so I never see him like anything outside of it. But every time I see him, I just makes me want to. Yeah, I know he's a cigar smoker. I don't smoke cigars, but hey, I when in Rome, do as a Roman. So I'm when around Avery, do as a it's Avery, and so I was like, man, I'd love to smoke a cigar. And he also looks like he can throw some mean barbecue down too.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we could get together and do that one time. Smoking a cigar is kind of one of those things. You kind of got to know how to do it. And I'm sure they'll lend you. Well, shoot, he got features in Loop magazine, right?
I think so. Yeah, he definitely got featured in there. Man, it's funny that his name was brought up, because I actually have one of the videos here that I wanted to show you and get your react on. You versus Avery Wells at the heat shrink battles. Yeah. So let me bring that up on stage, and let's refresh our memories with this one.
Right here, the winner of this round will go on to face Ignacio Salinas.
He's so
Avery
tall.
Wells, Cedro Rodriguez, heat shrink battle round.
This was awesome, dude. This was so fun.
1, let's shrink. It's on now. This is it.
We got that double cam action right there. But
this was so cool. And the fact that my team and, oh gosh, my family could watch this live was just awesome. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the first time I had ever shrunk using a torch, okay?
No
And,
way.
yeah, I had never used the torch before, but I saw a couple of these guys. I can't remember what their names were. And I said, that's definitely the speed advantage. I need to adapt that right there. And so I did. And, you know, I knew Big Man Avery was using that heat gun from Eric, his Steinel. And I'm like, oh, man, that Steinel's got to bring the heat. And so I kept looking over, and you know, I had some help behind me. They were calling things out, which was awesome. But yeah, and I, you know, I moved over before Avery did. I says, I got this, I got this. And so I was going. I just had to keep my rhythm down. I was pushing it up, and you see, I starting to speed it up just a little bit. But you know, I'm watching it. And right when I get to the top, you know, it's kind of hard to tell as that's dark film. I didn't know for sure where I was. Somebody's like, you got it, you got it. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on. And I look at Avery right there. He's killing it.
He's got that reach, man. He's
right. But look, I'm finished, and I know I'm done. And literally, there was a finger, maybe a quarter inch, that wasn't laying down, maybe, but it would have if I pushed it down, right?
Oh, so it'll lay. Freaking Dean.
It'll lay. But Dean, I was like, Dean, are you serious, Dean? No way. And he's like, I got to give it a thumbs down. I'm like, Dean,
God.
Are you kidding me? So I hope that we have this competition again, because Avery, I love you, brother, but guess what? I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you again.
Freaking Dean, bro. It'd be your own people. I think there was
he's an impartial judge, right?
Yeah, no, I love Dean.
That was so good, though. And you know what? Hey, if anybody's going to take it, yeah, look at Avery, man. He's got such presence, and he's so cool about it, too.
Man, both of you guys were world class.
And moving on to the final round, Avery.
Yeah, I love the Tinter Battles competitions. They just get better and better every year. Man, that was good. I just wish we had a little more AC in that event.
yeah, it's it won't be an issue in Reno, Nevada. I will say that. So it'll be more comfortable over there. But yeah, man, it was such a blast. I love seeing you compete. And one of the things that I love, even with the True Spray team, is that every single time, I mean, you guys are always moving cohesive unit. You know, if there was ever a Tinter war, not Tinter battles, if it ever escalated to a war, the True Spray team is the last team you'd want to compete against.
Well, I think really more than anything, it's experience on our side. And you know, I think when you have it in your mind, what needs to be done, you just get in there and you do it, you know, and more than anything, you remember why you're there, and that is to have a good time and elevate the entire industry. Because if you can't do that, what are you doing? You know, let's have a good time together and just bring everybody up. That's really what it's all about, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned earlier too that you go to a lot of these events. Have you always gone to them, or is this something that has been in the last couple of years that you started going out?
We used to go to almost all the panorama events with Solar Guard, and I really appreciated those events. I think that's really what took me to the place where the place we are now. Just top notch. There is so much training going on there, technically, and I just can't say enough about it. But it is a smaller group, and so when we joined up with Expel, our first XDC, I think it was 17, might have been 18. It really had my eyes open. I didn't realize how much more was going on in the industry, and it was eye-opening. So from that point on, I got to meet a lot more people. I think you were at one of the first ones I went to. I'm trying to think. Starting to be a blur. We've been to so many now, but
yeah,
there was just so many people that we started meeting and then going to the other events. So it was actually about, I think 21 perhaps, that we really started just going to as many as we could, because with every single event, we just started learning more and more and more about just all kinds of new things that you just never knew about before. And I love the fact that it would just help us grow and grow and grow. And I can bring that wealth of knowledge back to the shop and help my team and help my business. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have XDC. So last year you won 2024 XDC champion. There's that famous picture. I wish I had it on here. There's that famous picture with you and Goldberg. Goldberg presented the belt over to you. What was that moment like? I mean, before you got onto the stage, did you know that you were in the top 3? Were you expecting to win? Was this a surprise to you? What were your thoughts and feelings as all that was happening?
Well, I'm going to just take a moment here. I don't know how much time we have. I'm going to just take a moment since you mentioned it, because I would literally have never competed at all if it wasn't for my wife, Tiffany. We went to, I think it was our first XDC conference, and there was a slot open, and I hadn't registered, and she says, "Hey, I think you should compete." And I kind of stood back, and I was always a little more reserved, thinking, okay, if I could just make enough bread to put on the table, feed my kids and my wife, I think I'll be okay. I don't need to showboat or do anything like that, right? Trying to be more humble and everything. And she says, "You got it. You got this. You are good." But I've never gone up against anybody else. And typically in the tinting industry, not as of late, but typically you've got competition, and you're not friends. You're more so the opposite, where you don't talk to each other, things like that, right? So I don't really know where I stand. If it wasn't for my wife, I would have never gotten in there. And if it wasn't for my girls, all my daughters, to really want to make them happy that their dad was doing what he was doing. If it wasn't for my ADS shop family being able to hold the fort down while I'm doing these things. And if it wasn't for True Spray Bruce for bringing the sprayers, right? I mean, that was pretty key. That guy is literally my best friend in the industry. And yeah, steel sharpens steel, baby. And honestly, XPEL has got to have the best competition, in my opinion. And that's because they have good rules and they follow their own rules, which means there is a proctor at every competitor station, making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And I think that that's pretty important. If you have 12 or 6 competitors on the floor and one proctor, he cannot make sure everybody's abiding by the rules. So I think that XPEL has really brought it with their competitions. It is a great environment because everybody is Team XPEL, but I think everybody should be able to join that thing as far as the competition goes. I think if they opened it up, it would really be something else. I've been to other competitions, and they're not the same. They're not the same. But anyhow, I felt it, Carlos. I felt it from, I can't tell you, like sometimes you just know when you're going to put that window up and it's going to be perfect. You just know, and you just feel it. So when we were there and Goldberg was announcing the flat glass first, I had it in my bones that I was top 3, and I really felt it that I was going to be the champion. But I kind of suppressed the feelings. I was trying to keep it in check, but when he called my name, I was just like, yes! Dude, it was one of the best feelings in my life. And I know that sounds a little silly to some of you, but when you do this day in and day out, and you've been in business for 25 years, and you're able to go to a competition amongst your peers, which any one of them could win, because it really is anybody on any given day, because they're all good. They're all really good. It's just a good feeling to be able to pull the win and bring it home to your family and your team and your business and your clients. It was the best, dude.
I can't imagine what that feeling is like. I mean, the closest I'd ever gone to that is just the times that I announced them for Tinter battles, and I always see the emotions on people's faces. It's like you can almost pick that energy up, from a distance. But man, whenever you had one, I remember like I remember thinking they could not have happened to a better human being. To be on that stage, getting that belt, and then it's funny because you taking the picture next to Goldberg. I'm like, if I showed this to anybody who did not know window tinting, they thought like you're like a wrestling champ just because you got that iconic look. But
Oh,
I
man.
was super happy for you. Now, remind me, what did Bruce? Bruce was up on the top 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got third. Yeah, he got third place, and only for him to smoke me later on in the year at WFR. So congrats to you, buddy. He got champion at WFR.
You know, I've got another clip here to put up on the stage here. This was from the Flat Glass Battles, which we had debuted at Tinter Battles 2024. It was a little bit of a different competition. It was like elimination series, is whoever whoever did it the fastest within a certain quality standard. But let's roll the tape and let's see the True Tint crew battling each other at Flat Glass Battles.
Coming in to touch up an area. It is a close call.
Yeah, see this.
Oh, geez.
Johnson Window Films in 3.
Well, this was something else, because when you have all these heats and you just happen to have 3 of the the True Crew all together in the same heat. Okay.
Dude,
yeah,
you and Bruce are like moving like almost identically alike. When you guys were this, I think at the same time, drop that roll. I mean, like let's roll the tape back here real quick. Look, so see, both of you guys are moving with similar speed. Boom, you got him first a little bit, and right here, right next to you. Yeah, there he was. So
you know, we spurred each other though, because we are very competitive to each other in nature, honestly. And you know, by seeing him and him seeing me, it pushed us faster and faster. I'll tell you, it did. It really did, because as much as we love each other, we want to win over each other too. You know, I'm gonna be happy if he wins, and he's gonna be happy if I'm winning. But I'm trying for it, you know.
Then we have Jackson right there on the other side of Trick Tint.
Hey, you know what? Jackson has come a long way in just a short amount of time. I cannot believe that guy and how he competed, especially at WFCT. He made that thing look so easy. I think he blew me away in WFCT as far as, you know, like just from the sheer competitive nature and his poise and how he held himself. I was really impressed. WFCT with Jackson. Well, but that was fun though, right there. And yeah, is that Eric? That's Eric, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Moore with TINT'd Window Tinting.
Eric Moore, I think, I met him just not too long ago. I think he had just started coming to the shows too. And look at Bruce. Yeah, this was a tight race right here with the 4 of us.
Yeah.
But I started hammering on that glass. You see how loose it is? We got to fix that next time.
I got you. Like, there's definitely another frame on this side now. I got it there now. Because, like, I remember you had brought that up, and I was like, no, it's true. And then when I started looking back at the tape, I was like, oh, snap. Like, this thing is flexing.
Yeah. So this was definitely more of an exhibition-style match. It was fun. That's for sure. I loved it.
Yeah. There he goes, Bruce the Savage Slavish. He actually went up to me. It's funny because he goes up to me afterwards. He goes, I didn't know how to pronounce it, and I should have asked. I don't know where the last name came from. I just said Slavic, you know, but he goes, no, it's Slavish. You know, and then I mean, like, oh, like Savage, like the Savage Slavish. And he just chuckled. And I was like, that's a great name. I'm gonna start using that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it works great for a stage name.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. You guys are definitely an absolute blast, and I was hoping to get there's a clip, and it's on the Tinter Battles YouTube channel, but there's a clip where you and Bruce partnered up with the hanging windows, and then you just start like you just started jumping like, whoa, where's this energy? And he started turning that window sideways, and like it was so much fun watching you guys compete, man. Like every time, even with the windshield protection film challenge at SEMA, and you go in there, you were the first one that went in there with like the double squeegee stroke, and then knocked everybody's time. You immediately got them to first, and everybody started to try to do the same technique. And man, your name was up there for a while. Even though people saw the technique, they still weren't getting it down with you. It seems like you're a really quick learner when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, well, thank you. You know, regarding that SEMA show, that was supposed to end that day, and I was supposed to be the winner. And had I known that you were going to carry it on the next day, I would have went back and defended it. That was literally the first time I tried that too. I had no idea that XPEL was launching the windshield protection film at that point in time. nor did I know that you were going to be there grabbing the microphone, calling the play-by-plays. And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of seeing a pattern here that there's that combination of energy that kind of works, because last year at XDC, you were also, like, for the first time, grabbing the microphone and doing some play-by-plays and kind of doing some guest emceeing. And I was like, finally, yes, because I love the competition. But I was thinking to myself, you know what? They should ask Carlos to kind of do some play-by-play, or mix it up somehow. And then there you were. And so I think, honestly, that was the kind of thing that really helped me out, because when I was competing at XDC, you were doing the play-by-play. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. I just loved it. So there's that synergy that happens, and you bring it. So to hear that you were going to be, combining Tinter battles, and then also with WFCT, but then also going to be here as the MC for XDC, dude, I was so happy. I was like selfishly happy, because I like your energy. I like the way you bring it, but then also it's good for you. It's good for you and what you're doing. So awesome.
I appreciate that, man. It's so much fun watching. I've been doing this for 20 years now. I started when I was 12 years old. I guess 21 now, 21 years. But I started when I was 12 years old, and coming from, dude, like Hispanic tinters, that they're never going to be on the internet at these events. So coming from, like, learning from those guys, working through the flea markets, and then getting to know more and more people through these events. I call it, and when it comes to the window tinting learning, for me, it's the best seat in the house, man. You get to see the best competitors in the house, and then there are certain people that, when they're going to go compete, man. I'm like, this is the person you get the phone out and hit record on, because you're about to see something special. And you're one of those people, like, whenever I wanted to bring somebody here that was relevant to the XDC platform, to the competitions, and you're the first person that came to mind. I was like, I got to have Cedro on the live, because, not only do I enjoy you as a regular human being, but every single time I see you go compete, dude, it's like my eyes are just glued to whatever it is that you're going to go do, because you just never know, man. It's like what overcomes, like, there's something that flips inside you when you get in competition mode, and then you just, like, you're in the moment, you're enjoying the whole process, but you're just dialed up, man. What is that?
Well, I don't know if you watched the Olympics this year, but me and my wife started watching, I think it's Sprinter on Netflix, and a lot of it talks about Noah Lyles, and I don't know if you know him, but this guy's a phenomenal runner. He's a sprinter, he's world record holder, and this guy's just amazing. And if you watch him, he does a lot of the things that I do. And I was like, wait a minute, did he steal that from me? But I ran track in high school. I did sports. I ran 5Ks, half marathons and stuff. And so much of it is mental. It really is. I mean, and competing, it's a real thrill. It's very much the same, and it can take you to the next level. Surely it can, but it can also destroy you, and it's really up to you on where you're going to go with it. I think a lot of people, when they run, or even do some type of workout that really makes you work, you hit a little bit of that self-defeating thought. You can't do this. What are you even thinking? Just stop now. You're tired. And it's the same when you're competing in anything, and so it's just a matter of kind of getting comfortable with that uncomfortable feeling. And like I said before, when I first started competing a number of years ago, I was mad at myself, because it was a little mistake here, a little mistake there. I remember in my second flat glass competition, I was cutting down the side, and I did what I did, and I knew what I did, but I went to pull the film away, and it literally tore into my piece. And I was just dumbfounded. I couldn't understand how that happened. And I was just like, what? And so I redid it, and I was like 3 seconds shy from finishing on a redo. But, I think the loss is, you got to be able to take the loss in order to be able to take the win, because whoever wins, you want to be happy for them. You want to be happy for them for just for winning, of course, but what did it take to get there, right? You don't know the path that it took for them to get there. And when I won, and Goldberg called me, and he handed me the belt, I held it up like this. And I held it up because I wanted to basically say, hey, look, this is yours as much as it is mine. Because yes, I won this time, but I'm just a guy from Kennewick, Washington. I mean, really, I'm just a guy from Kennewick, Washington. And nobody knows who I am. But look, there's a lot of big guys out here and people know their names. And I couldn't have won it if nobody else showed up. And so, like, it's just the mentality, I think, of it. You know, you go in there, you show up, and you have your routine that you do every single day. This is what I do every day. And gosh dang it, if I can't win a competition from doing what I do every day, then I've got problems, right?
Yeah, man. So this XDC coming up, obviously you're going to be a competitor again.
I've registered, yes.
Yeah. So are you going for second consecutive first place?
That sounds like a nice thing, Carlos.
It does sound like that, right? Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of XDC 2025, and still the XDC Architectural Champion, Cedro Rodriguez. Man, that's going to be cool. There you go, dude. 2 years in a row. I don't know if that ever been done, period, at any competition.
Okay, yeah, I will. Yes, and thank you for asking. Shane Geddes from Canada. I can't name his shop because I can't remember it. Shane, you know who you are. This guy, I'll tell you what, I took some tips from this guy. This guy's a competitor. He's a former bodybuilder. He competed the first few years that I did, and he walked away with it at least 2 times first place. And he just had poise and you know, he had just showmanship to him. Yeah. And I told him when I won, I said, you know, I was thinking about you when I was competing. I had to come and get you. You know that, right, bro? And we took pictures of stuff after there because he was there too. So I love you, Shane. Thanks for showing me how it's done. And let's look for a repeat, right? Just like you.
Are you doing anything to repeat the same result? Like, what's your preparation for this year's XDC if you're doing anything different?
I think if I am to do anything different, I think I need to be just a little more thorough and just a touch more calculated. I think I need to dial it in just a little bit better. Every window of mine last year literally was perfect when I walked out of that ring. And I even took a picture of it and a small video to make sure, right, to remind me of how good they were. So if I can repeat what I did last year with just a little more poise and thoroughness, I'll be happy with it. Yeah.
So is this, are you referring to like details, process, like the steps that you're doing? When you say like more calculated, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's just like the nerves, you know, when you're up there. And, you know, in most other competitions, you might have a few people know what you're doing. But in this competition, in this arena, everybody there that is watching you is choosing to be there, and almost every single one of them know exactly what you're doing. So if you make a misstep or, you know, something like that, and I hear it, you hear as a competitor, you'll hear people talking behind you. And, you know, because you can't wear headphones or anything like that to drown it out. So you're live, you're with everybody. So I just want to make sure that every single move I make is 100, because I was actually just watching a video of myself 2-3 days ago. I came across it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the video, are you kidding me? And I was watching it and I think I fuddled around with a squeegee or two in my pouch. Honestly, I don't wear pouches ever. I don't, because they're too cumbersome to me. And so when I'm competing, that's when I'm wearing a pouch. And so usually I have like a platform or like a cart open, and that's where I keep all my tools right next to me. And so it's I can't do that in the competitions because there's no room for it, usually up on a ladder or step stool, something like that. So
there's on Amazon, like we use these sort of carts they're like foldable carts. They folded, they're pretty flat, and then there's like an accordion, you unfold them, and then it's like, you know, I guess I was like, they're like this big, but you can't see that on camera. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that you don't rock pouches in your everyday install.
I don't. And if you remember, I even had my large squeegee in the top of the backpack sprayer right here on this handle, because I thought that it would be easier for me to just reach back and grab it out. And actually, it looked pretty cool too when I did it. So I said, you know what, this is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And so I did that, I think the first round and went all the way through to the finals. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
You definitely have like Viking DNA somewhere in your lineage, man. Like bringing the squeegee out like this to go compete. That's like, again, see, there you go. That's why Cedro Rodriguez is the can't miss, won't miss competitor of XDC coming up in 2025. So, yeah, man. So we're getting close here, approaching the end of the episode. I've got a new little segment. It's called the squeegee this, squeegee that. So you're picking this or that. I'm gonna fire off with just a couple of questions. You pick one or the other. All right,
Okay,
preferences.
okay.
All right, first one.
I have no idea what you're going to ask me.
You know what? Hold on. Let me actually add a little something to this. Maybe we can add. I've never heard this before. Put a little bit of some music behind it. Okay. All right. Squeegee this, squeegee that segment. Pick this or pick that. Ready? Back roll or drop roll?
Depends on the situation. I'll go back roll.
Back roll. Okay. Heat gun or torch?
I love the old standby, the heat gun, but a torch gets the speed advantage.
So you're going heat gun is your choice?
Yeah.
All right. Heat gun it is. Bottom load or two stage?
I mean, bottom load.
Bottom load. Why is that?
Overall cleaner. Might take a few minutes longer, but overall cleaner in my opinion. But I've been killing the two stage lately.
There you go. Okay, so this one is going to be in the interest of bottom load, right? Panel pulling or B-load tool?
Panel pull when I can, but in those tight spots, you got to have the B-load.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the B-load too, man. I like that tool as well. Shout out to Fernan. Auto or flat glass?
Yeah, what's up, Sains Designs? You know, flat glass is where it's at for me.
Flat glass. Why is that? Why do you pick flat over auto?
You know, the cars are super cool. I love them. We just did a brand new trailered to us Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid turbo. This thing was nuts, $189,000 to do a full stealth wrap on. And you had to love it, right? 729 horsepower. That is awesome. But I think the residential commercial is really where it's at for me because it makes such a huge difference on ambiance. It saves people money, the glare reduction. It just makes a whole different space and living environment that they can use for a long time. And I don't know, that's where it's at for me right now. I've been loving it.
So in terms of business, flat glass is your choice. And like, if you're looking from the perspective of a business person, you'd rather operate flat than auto?
Gosh, I'm going to be involved with both, you know, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's take the flat glass to places we haven't been, you know, let's do that.
And then also as an installer, you would also, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, you would go flat over auto as well.
Gosh, these are tough questions, Carlos. What fun is this? I mean, they're two different worlds, right? I mean, the cars, everybody knows you can tint them, but everybody's still trying to figure out, wait, I can tint my house? I mean, we still get that all the time. So
yeah.
I love that aspect of it.
Man, well said, man. So I've got like just a few more questions. One of them is, if you had 6 months left to live, what would you do?
Oh, man. I'm going to travel to exotic places with my wife. I'm going to have my children sing wonderful songs to me because my ladies can sing. Oh, they can sing, and they just bring a tear to my eye when they do it. They have 3 of them have a play this weekend, and I'll be attending that, and I can't wait to see them perform. And all of my ladies are home right now, actually, which is kind of rare. I'm going to just spend time with family and travel and enjoy life, man.
I love that, man. I notice you don't mention anything materialistic. It's all experiences with the people you love.
Yeah, it's where it's at, the experiences.
Yeah, great one. And finally, the last question is going to be, if you go back to your 20-year-old self, what advice would you say to yourself?
Take that chance. Do it. Don't be scared. Don't be too reserved. Save that money now. Make more than you spend. Spend less than you make. You know, we hear all this advice, but do we ever take it? You know, because I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to start that program tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. You got to do it now. You got to do it today, because today is what's going to change your future. And if you want to live a different life in the future, you have to change what you're doing now, today, right now. Put it away. Don't put it down. If you don't have time to do it right now, what's going to make you think you're going to have time to do it again later? Better. You won't. Do it now. It's true.
Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have ended better. Ladies and gentlemen, the world champion of XDC 2024 and the projected champion of 2025, Cedro Rodriguez. Cedro, thank you for joining the live, man. It's been a pleasure. I wish the conversation could go on longer, but hey, leaves room for part 2 in the future. Maybe we'll come back with returning, and still, who knows? We'll see after XDC 25.
Thank you so much, Carlos. And thank you, everybody who came in on the live and watches this. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be sharing it, and I'll be running ads on so we get more views on the live itself. But yeah, thank you for joining us on the live here, man. I appreciate you making time for this, and I can't wait to see you compete at XDC. XPEL gave me the privilege of floating around pretty much wherever I'm needed, wherever I want. So, but there are certain people that I've got my eyes on. When I know they're competing in certain areas, like I'm definitely going to be there, and you're on the top of my list. So,
that'll be great to have you, Carlos. I can't wait for it. It's coming up real soon.
February 14th through the 15th. So
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
All right, brother. Yeah. All right, man. You have a great night, and I will close out the show here momentarily, man. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, bro. So there we go. There we have it. Cedro Rodriguez. He is a legend in this industry, man. An entrepreneur, an awesome installer, as you guys saw. And if you've never seen Cedro Rodriguez, he is a person that you want to go see. You need to go see. A fast learner, kindest human being. But in competition, he is a total Viking and a total killer. So I am glad that I had this episode here with Cedro Rodriguez. Now, some closing reminders. XPEL Dealer Conference is coming up on February the 14th through the 15th, live in San Antonio, Texas at the Marriott River Center. Those who are XPEL dealers are welcome, encouraged, and invited to register on xpel.com and go to the events tab, and you'll find a link right there. Also, Autobahn Hooper Optic Edge 2025 Dealer Conference is coming up February 24th through the 26th in Atlanta, Georgia. That is the teams of David Kratz and the rest of the Autobahn Dealer Conference people. Great, incredible people. I would love to see what they have going on. I had the great privilege of emceeing their 2023 Dealer Conference, and they're always a blast. The Autobahn clan is always a blast. Now, in March, we have WFR Family Reunion, March 24th through the 27th, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Go to windowfilmrevolution.com. Sorry. Windowfilmrevolution.com. Sign up for tickets there. Join the WFR group on Facebook. They go live every single Thursday. Cash Caduce, the handler, is handling it all. And finally, of course, we have Tinter Battles and WFCT, the feud of the film slingers. Tinter Battles celebrating its 5th anniversary. WFCT celebrating its 25th anniversary. September 9th through the 11th, Reno, Nevada. Go to WFCTevent.com to register to the event. There's no additional fees or any additional charges to be a part of the Tinter Battles experience we are planning for the WFCT. And I think that pretty much wraps it all up. So let's go ahead and kick off the rock music. Oh, now we're starting to have some internet issues. Okay. All right. Plan B. Well, anyways, thank you for joining us on this Tinter Battles live stream broadcast in the Texas Squeegee podcast studio. I am your host, the Texas Squeegee, wishing you all a great night. Squeegee that.